Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to strip things back to basics and really get to the heart of what investigative science is all about. It's not about memorizing a bunch of complicated formulas, not at all. It's about rediscovering that simple, powerful curiosity that drives every single exploration. So, let's jump right in.
It always starts with a question. And it doesn't have to be some huge cosmic mystery. It can be something as simple and, frankly, as delicious as this. Picture it. You're in the kitchen, you see a puri puff up in that hot oil, and you just wonder, why? Why does it do that? And why does one side always seem to be a little bit thinner than the other? That moment right there, that's where science begins. And that same little spark of curiosity, it can take us from the kitchen all the way out to the cosmos. You can look at a beach, at all that sand, and then look up at the night sky and ask a question that feels, well, impossibly huge. The scale is completely different, obviously, but that fundamental impulse, that simple, powerful need to know, it's exactly the same.
So, what this is really telling us is that science isn't some dusty old book of facts that you have to memorize. No, it's a journey. And it's a journey that always starts with wonder. It's born from those simple why and how questions we ask about the world around us. It reminds you that the quality of your questions, well, that often determines the quality of your discoveries. Okay, so to help us on this journey, the source material gives us this really beautiful metaphor. It says that for a true scientific investigation to work, you need two things working together in perfect harmony, a root and a kite. Let's dig into what that actually means. Now, this is so cool. On the one hand, you have the root. The root is your connection to reality. It's all about careful observation, building a solid foundation based on what you can actually see and measure. It keeps you grounded in the facts. But then, on the other hand, you need the kite. That's your curiosity, your imagination, the creative thinking that lets your ideas just soar into the unknown and explore totally new possibilities. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's not about choosing one over the other. Science isn't just about collecting a pile of facts, and it's not just about having wild, crazy ideas. The real magic happens in the balance, when that soaring imagination of yours is guided by what you can actually observe on the ground. Okay, so let's bring this beautiful idea back down to earth. Because you do not need a fancy high-tech lab to be a scientist. Nope, your kitchen is the perfect place to start. Let's take that simple question about the puree and see how we can investigate it like a real scientist. So, here it is, the scientific method, broken down into 5 totally manageable steps. First, you start with a really focused question. Then, and this is key, you figure out what you can actually control. Those are your variables. After that, you decide what you're going to observe. Now, step 4 is absolutely crucial. You have to change only one thing at a time. That's how you know what's actually causing the change. And finally, you record everything, which almost always just leads you right back to the beginning with a bunch of new, exciting questions. So, if we're thinking about our Puri experiment, what are the knobs we can turn? What can we actually control? Well, as you can see here, we could change how thick the dough is. We could use a different type of flour. We could turn the heat of the oil up or down. We could even change the way we slide the dough in. Each one of these is a variable we could test. And on the flip side, what are we actually looking for? These are our results. We can make it a simple yes or no question. Did it puff up? We can also measure things, right? Like how many seconds did it take? We can even use our other senses. Did the oil start to smoke? Did it smell differently? Every single one of these observations is a piece of data. And get this is probably my favorite part. After all that careful thinking and investigating, it turns out that even this simple, everyday thing isn't fully understood by professional scientists. Isn't that amazing? It just goes to show you that there are still these incredible mysteries hiding in plain sight, just waiting for a curious mind to come along. And this is the truly powerful part. That exact same process of questioning and controlling and observing, the one we just used for a piece of dough in a kitchen, is the very same method that has unlocked the secrets of the entire universe. Think about it. That same systematic investigation is what lets us peer into a single drop of water and uncover this teeming, hidden world of microbes, a discovery that completely changed medicine and our entire understanding of health and disease. It's what helps us map the invisible forces that are all around us, like the flow of electricity that powers our modern world, or the changes in air pressure that let us predict the weather. By carefully, patiently observing the sky, night after night. This method allowed our ancestors to map out the beautiful, predictable cycles of the moon, and that led to the creation of the very first calendars that we still use to shape our lives today.
And it allows us to see the incredibly intricate and often fragile connections between every living thing on our planet. It reveals this complex web of ecosystems that supports all life, including us. So, after this whole journey, from a kitchen all the way out to the cosmos and back, it all comes right back around to you. Because this way of thinking, this investigative spirit, it isn't just for people in white lab coats. It's for every single one of us.
Because this mindset, observing carefully, experimenting thoughtfully, thinking critically, it's exactly what we need to understand and start solving the biggest challenges we all face, from public health to climate change.
So, the big takeaway is this. Let your careful observations be your guide. Trust what you can see and what you can measure. Let that solid, rooted foundation give you the confidence to let your kite of curiosity soar as high as it can. Science is a verb. It's something you do, not just something you know.
And that leaves us with just one final thought. The world is absolutely full of puzzles, big and small. They're in your kitchen, in your backyard, on your walk to work. So now that you have the tools, which one are you going to investigate first? Happy investigating.